Yo, welcome back to the channel. Big up yourselves, big up all my new subscribers, big up all of you viewing the channel. You are legends. Make sure you press that like button, comment, subscribe if you haven't already though. Nice. In today's video we've got no Scott. Scott's doing a bit of window fitting today in the cold, so suit yourself, Scott, you know what I mean? Let down though. Anyway, in today's video we're back on the job from the previous video. If you haven't seen that already, go and check that out first, click the link, check it out. Leave a little like on that, comment and subscribe as well, you know what I mean? You don't want to miss out. We don't want to miss out. So in today's video, we're going to be doing the mains. I thought it'd be an interesting video because it's a brand new rewire. All the cables are fresh. We can make the board nice and neat and just show you how I route cables through and what my best way to install the board is. So let's get the stuff out of the van. But first of all, let's run a ting! So this is the job, if you haven't watched the video already. We've got all our cables from our circuits coming down the wall there, which is like a little utility room. Nice. So that's where the board's going to go. High level up there. It's not really high. Look, if I put my hand up, it's not high at all. So that's going there. Then we've got some 50-50 trunking, so 50mm by 50mm, which is going to come up from the mains. So the mains is down there, look, under the cupboard. We're going to be getting rid of these two boards. We left those in just because the 32 feeds this RCD board, which then feeds a temporary socket down there that they've been using for power. Everything else was disconnected. So we can rip those two off. Obviously the wall's going to have to be patched up, but there's no my problem, you know. So anyway, that's where the tiles are going into there. We're going to trunk up that corner. We probably won't trunk under here, to be fair. We'll probably just all band it or something. But it's going to go up through the corner, through the worktop, which will bring us to that corner. We're then going to trunk straight up in our 50-50, up to the top corner, across to our board location. So I'll get the board out, show you what we're fitting, and show you what the stages are that we're going to go through. I keep saying we, Scott's not here, but we. Multiple jacks, yeah? Right, the board we are going to be fitting is from, take that out, I'll show you that in a sec. It's from BG, so it's a main switch board, and we're going to be installing all Type A RCBOs for the circuit protection. So, this board is the new updated Fortress board from BG. So, as you can see, they've changed knockout positions, they've changed quite a bit of it, to be fair, and the lid does go on better. So if you've tried them before and you've had troubles with things like that, give them a go now, because we're really happy. We'd use them all the time if we could get the stock of them. Honest, that's what you're going at, yeah? But this is what we're going to be installing. So the plan is we'll trunk up, like I showed you, just across the top, and we're either going to use that knockout, or what I'm probably going to do, I say probably going to do, I've already planned doing it, don't know why I just said that. I'm going to be spacing it off the wall with some conduit couplers in all four corners. We'll then knock the two back out, knock the middle one for our cables, knock the right one for our tails, which is going to be coming through the trunking, and then where the trunking butts up to the board, we can just swoop round the back and in. I'm not worried about people getting their hands in and things like that. It's going up tight to the ceiling, and you're never going to get that far up to get your hands in to be a danger. So yeah, nice. What I'm going to do first is get these cut to length, because, you know, there's quite a bit on them. I didn't know where I was putting the board at first. I was going to trunk all the cables down, then I was going to knot, then I was going to put it there. You get what I mean. So we'll get these cut to length, remarked up. The way we mark them is just with nicks in the cable. So I'll do downstairs lights as 1 nick, upstairs lights as 2, smoke alarms as 3. Same with our circuits, so downstairs sockets will be 1, upstairs sockets will be 2, and then kitchen sockets will be 3. We've then got a 10mm, which is doing the cooker, double oven, and a 6mm, which is doing the electric hob, and then we've got bonding as well, which goes over to the water stop tap. We did the bonding on the first fix, connected it all up because the cupboards would be there and things like that. It just make it a ball ache when we come to do it on the second fix. That's done. Gas meter is right next to the mains down there, so I'll probably come off an earthing block and over, or just go down the trunking in a bit of 10mm to feed the gas. It is bonded in 10 anyway. I might not even change it, to be fair, but we move. They're cut and remodel. I will show you actually. So if you can see that, we've got 3 knocks. That shows me that that's the kitchen. 2 is going to be upstairs. 1 is somewhere. You get what I mean anyway. You get the gist. You get the gist. So now that that is all cut to length, to a more manageable length, should I say, we're going to knock the knockouts out on the board, which is the centre and the right. All I'm going to do there is, I could go and get a hammer, but I've got the trusty snips in my hand. So 1, 2. So it's just push that out and just snap them off, and that's that. They're knocked out. Sometimes I use this thing that comes with it, so it's just a little plate which pushes around that centre knockout and just clicks in like that. I probably will use it on that centre, to be fair, but it's not the best. You only have to knock it a bit. I'm just not going to do it now. It's about right in it. But the round one, I will be putting my own grommet strip down, because this grommet strip that they supply, it's just pointless. Don't know why they waste their money putting it in, to be fair, but that's my opinion. You might like it, I don't. Next thing we're going to do, luckily I've got the luxury of just being able to push them up in the ceiling to give me a bit more room. Normally you haven't, but you just have to bring them in and then mark it. We're going to use our marksman tool, offer the board up, get it level with Gary Neville. Where's Gary? Gary? Phil? Neville? Got it. Right, I'll bring that just off the ceiling. Get it nice and level, and then give a wee bit of a busher, a busher, a busher, and a busher. If you can see them, we've got the green mark there, green mark there, green there, and green there. All it does is spray a little bit of dust through, up to 50mm, I think, to be fair. I don't know, I might have made that up. But it just marks the wall nicely and perfectly where you've sprayed it. Even through like a whisker box or something like that, it marks it perfectly on the wall. So we'll get those drilled out now, and then get some couplers out the van, ready for mounting it. Honestly, that has took me, let's have a look at the time. That's took me nearly an hour and a half. It's ridiculous, man. What I've had to do now is change plan, knock out, tiles gland on the side, just because this wall has been overboarded and dabbed, and I could not get a fixing in the wall behind. The wall's terrible. So, knock them out, grommet strip round them. I've used this grommet strip out the van, which is perfection. Chuck the grommet strip that it comes with because it's terrible. What I'm going to do now is start stripping off some of the circuits. As you can see, I've done it with the oven there, the 10mm. That's going to be our first circuit going in. So it's going to be going oven, hob, sockets, ring, kitchen, and then it'll go probably a couple of blanks, boiler, sockets, because they're radial circuits, the upstairs and downstairs. So the only ring we've got is in the kitchen, and then obviously 2 lighting circuits and a smoke circuit. I'm going to get some of them drilled off now. What I've done to fix the board, marked it up again, remarked it. As you can see, I've hired it. That was where the old fixings were. Hired the board and just used plasterboard fixings to fix it to the wall. It's absolutely solid. Hopefully I can get that tails gland into the trunking and then just pop out with our thing. If not, I'll go and get a fire grommet from the old sailors that we can just pierce through. So as I'm connecting these up, as I'm connecting these up, if we look on this little manual here, we've got our torque settings for our connections. So our earth bar and neutral bar is going to be tightened up to 2 Newton meters. Isolator 3.5 Newton meters. MCBs we haven't got. RCBOs 2 on the bottom, so the live in, 1.2 on the live and neutral out. So I'll get these torqued up. What I'm going to do is strip some of the earths, get the radial circuits in, and then I'll stop and start again on the ring, and I'll show you how we take the readings of the end to ends. We're nearly there. I've put all the radial circuits in, so we've got cooker, hob. This is the ring which we're going to test now. Then we've got upstairs, downstairs sockets, boiler. This one is for the socket that's going underneath the worktop for the utility, and then we've got downstairs lights, upstairs lights, and smokes. You can see there I wired the smokes in 3-core, so that grey's been oversleeved with blue, and the black I've just put in a way going tucked behind here. So we're going to test this ring now. I like these, how I've done that. That's really nice. I don't like the fact that I've come through the top and you can see all that, and the earth's still a mess. I've still got to tidy them up when we're finished, but you know, we move, we're getting there. I've had to use fuse box blanks in a BG board. That'll have a bit of Sharpie on in a minute. Hide that. I've put the buzz bar in to the correct torque for these. Obviously they're 1.2, done them. Torqued these up for the ones I've put in, and I've torqued the neutrals up and obviously tidied them up. What I am going to do is get rid of that stuffer, the tails gland, and I'm going to go down and get the 32mm fire gland from the wholesalers, just because I'm going to have the tails coming through and that 2.5 from the radial there for the socket that's underneath. I'm going to get the tester out now and show you the process of testing the ring. To test our end-to-ends on our ring, sorry if you can hear that, hold on, let me just try and do something. Put that there, you might hear me a bit better without it rustling when I move the tester. So, we're using the Mega MFT 1741 Plus. So we've set it to own readings there, which is continuity. And we are testing the continuity of the live ends, so live to live, neutral to neutral, and earth to earth. All we've got to do, null the leads, make sure they're zeroed, which they are, I've just done it. And then we clip on to the live and the live. I've got the beep turned on just so I can hear it when I'm not looking. That's given us a reading of 0.28. We would expect that the neutrals are going to be the same value because of them both being 2.5 and the same length. So 0.28 on the lives. We've got 0.28 on the neutrals. And then the earths should be around 1.67 times higher. That's because obviously the earth in a 2.5 twin is 1.5, so you've got more resistance on the cable. So 0.28 times 1.67. We're expecting around 0.46, something like that. Watch it be nowhere near now. Yeah, 0.46, bang on. So that is our end-to-ends of our ring. So live loop, neutral loop, earth loop, R1, Rn, R2 on the test sheet. That'll be recorded. That's our end-to-ends. We can then join the lives and the earths, lives and the neutrals, earths to neutrals, whatever you want to do, or however you need to do next to test our R1, R2 readings of the circuit. I'm not going to do that on the video, and I'm not going to do any more testing on the video. That's just because I will do another video testing a full board and testing what we need to do. The test sequence that I use, probably not meant to, but that's what we do, you know what I mean? But yeah, So that's our end to ends. We'll get these connected up now, and then we'll start looking at getting the tails into the board. That sun's really bright. Bit of blinding, sir. If you know that, you're a legend. Right, so 43 inches. I've lost my tape measure. I've just moved 3 meters. I've lost it. What is that about? What is that about? We go again. 43 inches, and we're going to just put a mark on the trunking. So 43, which is there. And then what I tend to use is this little backhoe or baker or whatever, little set square. So we'll set that up next to the ting there, just to get our line straight. Unless you're a legend, you can cut straight anywhere. I can't. So we mark that all the way around, like so. If you are going to cut the lid at the same time, make sure it's all pushed up tight to the edges, because it sometimes slips and you'll be cutting the lid too short. Right, now that's all marked up. Get the grinder. Cut that now, and that cut was horrendous. Look at that. It's a good job I'm not a chippy. That's going to go across the wall and butt up to the wall. Go across the wall. Butt up to the wall on the right. So what I'm going to do now is just notch this edge out so that I can butt this up to it, and then it comes down the wall, and that way we can mitre the lids in nicely and get them lidded up. That edge has been cut now, and that's where we're going to butt our edges up. The edge has been cut, but our edges, there's a lot of edges. Basically that's going to sit on the wall like that. So let's get it mounted on the wall. That's the tails in now, so it goes across in the trunking, down in the trunking there. I've notched the back out the trunking down here and just fed it down behind the worktop so that I didn't have to drill it. Hopefully you can see that. So that's going to come down now and across into the meter. Then I'm going to pop a 2.5 down as well. And what I'm going to do is put a double socket round here somewhere. That's so if the washing machine's in that side, it can just be plugged in next to it nicely, and it's accessible still. So, I'll tell you what, mounting that board's absolutely ripped it out of me. You know, you just struggle with something and it does your head in. 2 hours to put 4 screws in. What's that about? Anyway, we move. We'll get these connected up now. So I've got the main earth to connect up into the tails into our main switch. That's the fire grommet I was talking about, if you can see it. So you just push them in to the hole, make a little slit in them and push the cable through. Still got the 2.5 to go through there, and then I'll lid it up and get it on. Right then kids, here's what I've done with the socket. Mounted the socket there, fished through the dab to get through into our trunking. So the trunking's up and on and round to the board. Look at that. That was another thing I wanted to show you about this board. Let me just get the key. So, if you're, not so much for this setting, but if you're in a communal area or anything like that, or you're working or something like that, I don't know. Anyway, the lid locks. How awesome's that? Yeah? So if you're working on a circuit or anything like that, lock the lid, take the keys with you. When you're done, when you're finished, when everything's tested, you can then pop this out. So just undo that bolt there, pop it out and just put a little blanket cover over it. If I drop them keys again, they're going out the window. Yeah? As you can see, the power is on. I've still got to screw that pendant up. Done the spots in here. We did that on the previous video. Everything else is on. We've done. Let's just go upstairs. These were changed from spots to a pendant, so that's now done. We've got lighting in the bathroom. We've gone for 3 spots there. I've still got a bezel to put on that one at the back. And then I've got the fan to do before I go. So I've got the fan, put that bezel on, and a smoke alarm downstairs, so a heat alarm just to finish the circuit on, and then that one can be powered up. Boiler can be connected in. Bloody hell, I've got some bits in I. Boiler can be connected in, tidy up that bit of dust that Scott's left. And yeah, everything else is good. Just before we wrap up and finish, just want to give a quick shout out to our video sponsor, which is Kip Hakes at KCJH Design. I had to look at that because I keep forgetting which way around the letters go, you know what I mean? But yeah, Kip, if you don't know him, is also a YouTuber. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. But his business is designing websites, running the websites, hosting the websites, and setting everything up for you. He has created a fantastic website for us, which has already been worth the money because the work we've received off there is perfection. But yeah, he's a really nice bloke, and also he does a fantastic job. He's also created a website for Nick Bundy, yeah, created his website as well. Check that out. So I'll put a link to his website in the description. He's also said that for our subscribers and viewers, he will give a 10% off code, which is JLC10, for everything on his site, apart from the sole trader package. The plus package is covered, the normal one's not. I don't know why you'd want the normal one though, because the plus one's awesome. Haha, nice. But yeah, big up you, Kip. Thank you very much for everything you've done for us. He's also created the intro video that you see on here and the outro screen that you're going to see in a moment. So big up you, Kip. Thank you very much. Also, big up you lot for watching, for getting this far. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I will be doing another video on testing this board, because a few comments through our videos have said, can we have a bit of testing? We're apprentices, things like that. So we're going to run through the sequence of tests on the whole property and just what we do, what we record, where we record it on the test sheet, and we'll probably integrate it with Tradify as well and run through the certificate process with the iPad and ting. Big up yourselves and see you later. Ta-ra.